everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Explore the Spectrum. I'm your host, Jeanetta, and today we're joined with Donna from Autism Society of Greater Orlando. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
I am so glad that you're here. I know that you do such rich benefits throughout the community for so many of our families, and any family that's looking for resources will often find you quickly. But you do things far beyond just helping with resources and helping families get connected. You work very closely with the law enforcement community on helping them understand best practices of working with our kids, especially as they age. And so I don't want to steal your thunder and tell your story for you, but if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about both of those fronts. How does Autism Society of Central Florida help families and help law enforcement?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the invitation to be here today and to talk about our one of our largest programs. Autism awareness training for law enforcement was established about 10 years ago when we started seeing more and more interactions of those on the autism spectrum with law enforcement. I think that if you speak to many families, they will tell you that they start their introduction with law enforcement sometimes at the school level, right? When their children are younger, and they are given that opportunity or stated that, based on a hitting of a school official or something along those lines, a teacher, a para, they would be subject to arrest. And so it kind of opened our eyes as we heard more and more stories relating to that, some as young as 5 years old. And I think we decided at that time that we must do something to help the interaction between law enforcement and individuals with autism. So we created the Autism Awareness Training for law enforcement officers. To date, we've trained over 40,000 law enforcement officers in the state of Florida, with a few in Georgia. And it looks like we are going to be heading to Alabama in February to introduce some of the officers there. While we are focused for sure in Central Florida, which is where our home base is, we do realize that our families like to travel. And so our goal is that no matter where they travel, they would know that the officers that they would have the potential to come in contact with might be able to recognize the characteristics of autism, know how to handle the interaction, how to de escalate the situation, and to ensure that the officer and the family member with autism go home safe every day. I think that's for a parent, that is what we hope the most. And so this program is really developed to help individuals with autism get used to how law enforcement questions, and it also helps the law enforcement officers be able to recognize the signs of that invisible disability, otherwise known as autism.
I absolutely adore all of the work that you do because it's the things that you don't think about until you're in that situation that you say, oh no, something could go wrong here. You know, for many of us that are parents, we don't foresee that issue until something has gone very wrong. And then we expect that the other people that were entangled in that moment suddenly understand and know our child. And that's an unrealistic expectation to put on them. So there's value in this that I think any of us can appreciate and see, especially, we're so commonly used to seeing 3 year olds, 4 year olds, 5 year olds that might have behavioral issues, and a parent can snatch them up off of the ground, pick them up, and go deal with that. But as our children age, you're not able to do that with a child that's 5 foot or 6 foot. Our kids get
Or
big,
larger.
and if they, right, and when they get large and those behaviors emerge, it's very frightening to a first line personnel. They don't know how to receive that information other than as a threat. So the work you're doing is absolutely important. And I love the fact that you're stretching your geographic barrier, or boundaries, so that you can incorporate more law enforcement officers. If if a different person that is in this industry wants to learn what you're doing and help in some capacity, are you able to help them train in other geographical areas, or are you still just kind of growing in the Southeast?
Yes, no, we will go wherever we are needed or wanted or invited. Again, like our family, we travel all over. And so we always want that comfort level to know that no matter where we visit, those law enforcement officers that he may come in contact with are prepared to recognize and interact with him. And that's how we
I
ensure
love
the
that.
safety of both.
Okay, so that's wonderful to know. And I didn't want to gloss over the fact that you do real work here with the families in Central Florida too, right? Like you're
For
pouring your
sure.
heart and soul into helping these law enforcement officers understand our kids, but you're doing really wonderful work here in our backyard. What are some of the ways that you support families outside of this?
Sure. The Autism Society of Greater Orlando was founded in 1996. So for the last 27 and a half years, we host on average about 200 events, activities, and trainings a year. We have large programs like the Autism Awareness Training for law enforcement officers and first responders. We do social skills groups. We do family events and activities so that we bring the whole family unit together. We have an autism art program. We just have so much going on that if you take a look at my calendar, you'll know why it's taken us so long to get here. We just definitely want to continue to provide supports and services and know that the families are not alone.
Yeah, that's a beautiful mission. And the additional beauty of what you do is that you stretch beyond just those that have new diagnosis. You're working with teens and adults, you're working with the entire community and trying to be a support system to them. So thank you for the work that you're doing. If someone wants to learn more, where's the best place to send them?
You can hit our website, which is www.asgo.org, or you can go on our Facebook page, Autism Society of Greater Orlando, or give us a call at 407 855 0235.
Oh, I adore all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for the support systems you build in. And thank you for being proactive and trying to solve problems before they occur for our kids as they age. Much appreciated. And to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us as we continue to explore the possibilities.